Ngozi Talk Shows family, is Nomsa here at Ngozi Talk Shows. Find your own voice, lead from within. Today I've got Kamau Aima and Angie Simmons. How are you guys?
Thanks.
Very well, thank you.
So, the topic today is why am I still single? Exploring the truth behind my relationship status. These guys are single. So we would like to hear the stories about them guys, because some people are single because they choose to be single, and some people are single because they can't find, they are finding really challenging to actually find that special person. So today we're just gonna, it happens that Kamal is single. I'm not sure if he's got a woman in secret, and Angie as well. So we're gonna find out. We're just gonna have fun with the conversation. And if you guys want to join into the conversation, please do. And sorry, we are late as well because of the technical problems, but we are here now. So Angie, what do you think about the topic? Why am I still single?
Because I choose to. Simple.
I love that.
So for me, when I was struggling and, obviously my marriage breakdown and things like that, just not long after I did get into another relationship that, again, went wrong. So when I looked at that situation, for me, it was like, well, hold on a minute, there's two relationships and I'm in both. So I need to work on me first. And then I've been on that path since 2014. Again, went into a relationship, but this time it wasn't a case of relationship went wrong because of my side. It was a case of I ended it. And I was like, actually, you're not the right person for me. So, and that's something I couldn't have said a few years back, because of the way I felt about myself. But now, because I'm in my own unique power and I'm chuffed to bits who I am and proud of who I am, I won't take anybody on that I don't feel that's a fit for me. Like, for me, a relationship's about two people. It's not about one. So that person has to meet me. I have to meet them. And that we're, for me, a relationship is about helping each other grow rather than just one person. So yeah, I made the choice that, I'm staying single until that right person comes along, and they will.
I like that.
What about you, Kamal?
And I've got the same theory as well. Like, been in a relationship that wasn't healthy on my end. I mean, for me, and one of the things that I'm well aware of, especially for people in general, when people usually break up, they automatically jump into a new relationship, and this is one of the most damaging things one can do, because you don't know how to identify as a single person. You've identified yourself as a married person, and so, or in a couple. And so that conversion from being in a relationship to being single becomes complex, too complex for you. And that complex part is where introspection is necessary, because during that period of a relationship, we change. And so one must discover who they are at that stage. That's my opinion. And anyway, I'm also single. Impediments like living in a village with Norwegians. I don't want to date a Norwegian again. Been there, done that. But it has nothing to do with that. It has more to do with the person that I am today needs more culture, needs more a person that is well-traveled, a person that is multilingual or polyglot like myself. Needs a person that understands cultures from different perspectives. But at the same time, I took these years so far to grow, as you mentioned, Angie. I learned a lot of things. I opened my own company. I opened my own karate school. I took the time to personally grow. And this was all due to a sentence that I've repeated several times, quoted by my dad, feeling that I was lost and I had lost everything, and I wasn't going to see my children enough and all of that. And the quote is, "You have been gifted with time." And that alone helps you figure out who you want to be in the future, what you are, what you're going to do, and all of that. So I'm on the same wavelength as you, Angie, when it comes to growth in being single. And I'm happy being single.
You don't have to share your remote control with anybody. That's if you watch a lot of telly. I only watch a little bit myself. But yeah, these little things, you know, you don't have to share in that sense. But it's good to share. But yeah, I just thought I'd chuck that little funny in there. But, yeah.
I mean, yeah, of course, you have these small things that you know that trigger us. But growing alone makes you realize what kind of person you are and what kind of person you want to share that life with. So
Absolutely.
It's an important part of growth to be alone, to know how to be alone. And single, I mean single.
Yeah. I don't know about you though. I found it's like, at first, one of the hardest things I've ever done. Because, you know, when you said about going into relationships after relationships, yeah, I was in a relationship, married for a long, long time. And and agree with you in the sense of we automatically, we change into somebody that's, who the hell am I? Yeah. And that was my question. Who am I? And I had to, you know, do that. But it is one of the hardest things to do.
Definitely, definitely.
What about you, Namsa? Well, we know you're not single.
I love that you guys are saying you're single because it's a choice. And I think it's nice when you're growing, and I'm sure one day a good woman will enter Kamau's life. And I hope you'll be able to accept that woman, because you don't know your destiny. So you can't write good ladies off. So you have to have open mind, because good ladies are there and they are looking for you as a good man. And Angie as well, don't write men off, because there are good men out there. And I'm glad that you ended your relationship because you recognize that, you know what? I don't think this thing is for me. And some people don't have the courage to do that when it comes to actually ending something that does not work. They live in hope, hoping that I hope it's going to change. I hope things will change and they will be happy. But then the more you stay in a relationship that does not serve you, the more you get into depression, because your inner child, you will be crying like, I'm not happy. And even your inner being as well is crying to be released, the freedom. You want that freedom. So it is nice to be single as a choice. So we need to talk about these people that are single and they're not happy, they're miserable, and they don't have the courage to get out there. Some people, they go to dating apps. I've met women who have gone like 100 times dates, meeting men, and they've not found the right men on dating apps. And some have dated, like they've gone on dates with 80 people, 100, some more than that. And they've given up. They're like, I don't think there is any good men out there, because, you know, apps, they're very entertaining. When you go to apps, some people, they just like this attention of chatting to like maybe 15 women at the same time. And some people, they go to apps because they just want to have sex. So they register, they're married, but when they meet people, they say they're not married. And I met one client, he was really, really destroyed. He was talking to this person online for 6 months, thinking it's a woman, it's a woman, yeah. And this person turns out to be a man, like he was leading him on. So I was like, why would you talk to somebody for 6 months without meeting them, or without falling in love with the person, without meeting them? But hey, it happens in life. So what advice can you give somebody who is single and the truth about their lives is they don't want to be single? but all they do is sit around and complain about them being single, not being able to find the right person. Come out.
There you go, come out.
That's an interesting question. So how should I start this? People that, okay, so first of all, this happens a lot. There are a lot of fake accounts that go onto these dating sites, apps to what was it, phishing people, and then they get
Match.com.
yeah, and they match with you, and they don't have to drop names. They match with each other, and then it's an algorithm, and then some people are very apt at writing and texting, and then they form that relationship, and then whatever happens after that. Now, those that don't know how to be alone, this is a trauma that they have. And I'm not going to discuss that trauma because it takes several aspects. Being alone, being single is very different than being lonely, right? And the same thing goes for being alone and being lonely. One can be alone and happy. One can be alone and yet not be lonely, right? So there are steps to take to grow from that. Now, those that go on to exceed or that push themselves beyond, and I'm going to say the norms, which I don't really like, but let's say a person becomes single, recently single. They jump on an app and they go find a one-night stand. They do it again and again and again, right? This is to fill the gap that they have. It's unhealthy. The same thing happens with alcohol. The same thing happens with drugs. The same thing happens with smoking normal, nicotine or cannabinoids. Whatever it is that you are abusing, it is to fill the void because you do not know how to be alone. You are scared of the person that you are, or of the person that you're going to be. You are scared to discover yourself, which puts you in the general population that I've mentioned several times of 89 to 92% of people that just deal with life as it is and they don't seek growth. So excuse my expression, you're like the rest of the bleh. But it's true, right? I mean, you look
Absolutely.
Everybody's a sheep. So are you willing to stay like the rest, to do like the rest? And then don't even get me started on the energy that you waste going around, sleeping around. Unfortunately, sex used to be something sacred. It used to be something that you would have with one partner, special to you. That bond is a give and take of energies. You are coming out from a relationship that wasn't healthy. You have taken on these, and I'm going to use the word negative energies. They're still with you. You need to get rid of them first before you move on to sharing them with somebody else. Now you go and share it with somebody else, and that other person, God knows what they have. If they're having multiple partners as well, they're having lots of energy that is unhealthy, and you start sharing on that negative energy around you. How do you want to grow? How do you want to cleanse yourself is the word that I'm looking for. So I definitely say I'm against sleeping around. I'm even against one-night stands. I haven't had a one-night stand in my life, ever. The women that I've been with, intimately, are the women that I dated, that were my girlfriends or my wife. That's it. But this is also what you are taught at home. This is also the impact of society on you. How much are you willing to bend to be like the others in society around you? How much are you willing to let go of your own personal values to be accepted? I don't care about being accepted in society, as long as my values are straight and I do what I do. The other day, give you an example. The other day, we went on a trip with the school where I'm working now, and it was like an end of year teachers gathering and all of that. And I quit drinking 2 years ago. I very rarely drink. I had one champagne for New Year's, and when I was on vacation in France a couple of months ago for a week, I drank a couple of glasses with my my brother-in-law just to celebrate that I was in France and all that. I mean, I can't be in France and not drink wine. Come on. And so I don't drink. And the question came, what are you having to drink? Oh, I have my water. You don't drink? No, I said I quit drinking 2 years ago. And then the question became, well, did you quit for religious reasons, or why did you quit? I said, like, because I can have fun without alcohol. I'm cleansing my body. I don't need the alcohol anymore. It's not something that fills a void that I have. And so, and I have other friends and people that I know that get asked the same question, especially in today's society, I'm going to say in Europe, society where everybody goes out and they drink. When there's a party, there are always drinks. And when you are the singular person that doesn't drink, you're not a fun person. Mm-hmm. But we can have fun without drinking. We can have fun being single. We can have fun without having intercourse. This choice, it always comes back to the choices we make. So yeah, that's my answer to your question, Nomsa, I think.
I love it. I do like what you said, Kamal, about the trauma side. Totally resonated with that. I was that person quite a few years ago with the trauma that I was carrying. Obviously, I didn't know it was trauma at the time. I didn't understand why I was doing what I was doing at the time. But that inner work, that getting into self and understanding who I was, that's when I found out, trauma, which came back to when I was a kid, and at first it was like, for me, I struggled to get close to anybody for a long, long time because everybody leaves you. That was rattling around in my head. And it was like, wow, what a BS. It was crazy, but yeah. And I love when you mentioned about when you go out and you don't drink and you're single. I've been away for the weekend with the kickboxing girls, and I was the only single one there. And they were all sitting there talking about their other halves and blah, blah. And one of the girls turned and went, oh, I'm really sorry. And I was like, what are you saying sorry for? Well, we're all talking about our partners and you can't really join in. And I went, yeah, I can. Just because I haven't got a partner. And she's like, well, how do you feel your day? And I was like, I have fun. And their face was just like, doing what? Doing what I want to do, rather than compared to what somebody else wants me to do. Because what I found in the past is, as I said, you come together as two single people, two separate people, and then, yes, become one. But then you sometimes, if you're not true to yourself and respect yourself, then you end up becoming that person and you forget who you are. That was my experience for a long time, and that's why I made that decision. So for anybody that is complaining or upset that they're single, they're alone, find out who you are. That'd be my advice. What do you want to do? What makes your soul sing? And which we've talked about in other sessions. But what do you do for fun? What makes you happy? Find those things and start if you're feeling you're at home and you're lonely, as you said, Kamal, rightly so, you can be alone, and lonely, two different things. I can be alone, chuffing happy and happy about it.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. And then sometimes I'm like, you know what? I could do with some company. Two different things. All right, I'll just ring a girlfriend up, or, you know, a boyfriend, as in a friend who's a male, and have a chat, or go out and see him. Oh, we're not on the beer. No, why not? Toss, I don't want to. And then look, I think I've got some sort of different head, like, you know, dragon head or something. Who is she? You know, yes, Angie used to be a party person. Go out and get drunk and smashed, and and then wake up the next morning going, uh-oh, what did I do last night? I don't remember. Those days I don't like anymore. Yeah, I can't scrub the past because it's in the past. Done it. Learn from it. Stop doing it. Waking up in the morning, and before you even move your arms, you're like laid there going, uh-oh, what have I done? That waking up with dread was just not filling my heart anymore. I'm like, no, stop that. I'd rather go out and remember getting home. What did I talk about? And getting up without an hangover. As you get older, I don't know. Yeah, obviously you know, because you don't really drink anymore, or you don't drink anymore. But I had a couple of glasses a couple of weeks ago. It took me about a day to get over it.
Oh,
I was like, what is that about? I ain't got time to waste 2 days on a couple of glasses. No, thanks. I'd rather go out and have fun. But for somebody who is feeling lonely, you have got people out there to call on. Go and see them. You don't have to be in a relationship, especially if it's a toxic one, to fill that void. But it's about you looking at who you are and why do you feel the need to be in a relationship with somebody else if they're not filling your heart. So yeah, that's my answer to that one. Numpsa. And she's on mute.
I love that, Angie. I love that. You know, life is a choice. How we create our lives and design our lives, as long as we are happy with it. I like when Kamal said, when you drink, people think that if you don't drink that, people think you're boring. So what's entertaining about getting drunk? If we go to an event, people will drink and then they don't remember what happened the following day. But me, that as not drinking, I'll remember what has been happening that day. But at the same time, if they want to drink, you can drink if you want to drink, but it doesn't mean that I don't drink myself, but I hang out with people that drink. And they have their conversation. I just sit there and have a conversation. But when we go to a birthday party, family birthday parties, people that drink, they have to get drunk in order to get on stage and dance. But for me, I don't drink. If I hear the music that I like, I just go and dance because I know that I'm not drinking because it's a choice. And there are people out there who are single, like Kamal was saying, one night stand is not good for him. And for me, I would say I agree with him because when you can't just, if you really, really love yourself, you can't just go and take your clothes for anybody, everybody, your clothes off to actually have sex with everybody. If you love yourself, the person that enters your life, that person will be special because that sex is special to have a relationship with that person. Not to say, I'm just going to take my nunu and just going to enter somebody else. And but there are some people who... I'm just take my partner. I'm just gonna take my boobies and say suck my boobies. Anybody else, come and get them. To me, that is a no, because my body is special. Honestly, if you really, really love yourself, anybody that comes your life, you wouldn't have sex because you want to have sex. You would just your body. You would say, you know what? The person, the woman that comes into my life, they're special. I want to have this relationship, or I rather not being into a relationship than to just go around and take my thing and say, you give it to me, honey. No. So I have that attitude as well. If I'm single, I'm single. And I just love it. I enjoy it. If I'm single that moment, and it's nice because when you are single, you get to know yourself. You get to have more relationship about yourself. You get to understand the person you are as well. But then if you have open mind and say, if there's somebody else comes along that can enjoy this life that I'm enjoying, I'm open to it, but I wouldn't go to the pub and just say, oh, you want to go home with me? Yeah, let's go home. I'll be like, just get lost. So for me, I just feel I don't like men that think that women, they're just for taking home. I like a well-cultured man in that respect, because when a woman allows a man to actually just come in and do whatever they want to do, that means you don't have a respect for your body. So you have to have that respect. But you find there are some people that they love it. When they get that attention, they love it. And it's more lack of confidence, like money. Some women, they like money, men with benefits. You find that there are some men as well. Now there are website apps. If you want a rich woman, you can go and register and they look after you. Apparently, men will go and register a rich woman and they date them. So you find there's different people. But yesterday we were talking and my daughter was asking questions. So I said to her, for me, I believe that there are some characters that people make up. So it doesn't mean that they are right, but they are wrong, but you don't have to judge them. I was saying to my daughter, you don't have to judge them. You have to accept people for who they are. But some characters, they get created due to psychological problems. So it's all these things. When somebody is having sex with everybody, that means there's psychological problems behind it that is not fulfilled. Mostly childhood attachment. So some people, it comes back to the parents. Sometimes maybe the parents never gave them attention, or they dated somebody in the past who have hurt them, and now they want revenge to sleep with every woman or sleep with every man that they find. So people do things for different reasons. But I will say those who are single and you're looking for love and you feel that there is no hope for you, you have to change your character. If you want to meet somebody, when I'm saying change your character, if you are single, behave like a single person. If you feel that one day you hope to meet the right person, you have to behave like a single person. I go out, I smile with everybody. So that's why I'm like, why these women complaining, saying they are no single person? Many, I have to tell them that, sorry, I'm not single. But I talk to everybody, I smile to people. And that's when it's the conversation and they're like, I'm single. Would you like to go on a date? I'm like, no, I don't want to go on a date with you because I'm in a relationship. So, but if you're a single person, behave like a single person. When you meet people in an event or wherever you go, if a man is interested in you, or a woman is interested, they're showing interest, they're attracted to you, it's a bonus that somebody is attracted to you. Even if you don't want to date them, just be grateful and talk to them. And that gives you confidence of moving on and finding that special person. For me, I believe that there is everybody for everybody out there. I always tell people, I don't believe that people will say, I'm struggling, I can't find, there are no good men out there. You need the character. If you look at our old generation, they like to talk. They like to have a conversation. When they meet you, they like to get to know you. But our generation now, if Kamau likes to talk, he likes to say hello, and and our generation now, if we meet somebody like Kamau who's well-cultured and just saying hello without feeling attractive to you, just saying hello, the next thing they'll look at Kamau, they'll be like, hey, what's wrong with you? Are you on drugs or something? Just because he's being kind. That's what people do. And am I wrong, Kamau?
I mean, it's a generalization, obviously. It's also how people are perceived in the event or in that place that you are meeting people, right? You can go to let's say it's an artistic venue where you're looking at art, and the levels of conversations differ, right? If you're going into a university and having a gathering of minds, and you talk and you discuss things over a drink, over a snack, the conversation level is very different, and that hello becomes very different. You go to a bar, a pub, or a nightclub, you already know that this is what you're looking for. So there won't be any, and I'm not saying everybody that goes to a club, a bar, or a pub is looking for sex. I'm just saying the level of conversation that you want to have in these venues differs a lot, okay? And we can't generalize it. It's just linguistically incorrect to generalize everyone that does that. The approach, of course, makes a difference. I wanted to add something before we continue to this, because we were discussing, I was reading something the other day from somebody that I follow on Instagram, and I'm going to quote her because I really loved what she wrote. And her name is Oda Julie. She said, sex is the ultimate transmission. You become what you eat and who you have sex with. Before you sleep with someone, ask yourself, do I want to become more like this person? That includes their energy, potential addictions, habits, and shadows. This is particularly important for the feminine part to receive energy. When you have sex with heart connection, you take on a man's unconscious trash conditioning. This applies not only to women, this applies to men. And this is exactly what I was talking about as well, right? So shout out to you, Oda Julie. Never done that, but like I read it and I thought it was important to share it with the people and our community. And coming back to that part, now, the venues that you frequent, the people that you frequent, the people that you meet, where are you meeting them? How are you meeting them? Is it a random hello, is like, hey? Or is it a creepy hey? Or like, I don't know, friends, Joey, how you doing? Right? Or is it, hello, how do you do? Hi, are you doing something? Can I get you a drink? How you introduce yourself. Me personally, I never do it in bars because I didn't learn how to do it, and I'm kind of shy. Even though I speak in front of people and in class and all that, I'm shy when it comes to approaching women. I don't like to. I find it, in a sense, degrading, both for me and the woman. But this is my personal opinion, and I can't apply that on it to everyone. When it comes to being single, what you were talking, and this is still what we're talking about. It's about understanding who you want to share your life with. You were talking about being a toxic relationship, Angie. Well, there's no point being a toxic. If you're in a relationship where you have to walk on eggshells, where you hate you every day, where you, oh my God, she is coming home. I have to do this. I have to do this. Why do you have to do? You don't have to do anything. You have to want to do things with your partner, for your partner. It is something that you wish you could do more for that partner. And from the other end, that whatever is done, the minuscule thing that you might do may be simply, I don't know, just, oh, wait, your screen is dirty. Let me clean it up for you. Here's a cover, whatever it may be, the tiniest of moves. If it's not appreciated, when it adds up once, twice, 3 times, you are going into the same toxic relationship. My mom and dad, they still say, please, thank you, you're welcome. See, this is the really minuscule things, the very, very small detail of life. Please, can you get me a glass of water, please? It's not, can you get me a glass of water, or get me a glass of water? And if it is get me a glass of water, it's get me a glass of water, please. There's always that sense of of decency. If that disappears in a relationship, there's no point being in that relationship. When you talk to yourself being single, I don't know, I talk to myself a lot, so but I'm not. So when I get up, I tell myself, oh, what would I, oh, I'd like to make that for myself. Oh, yes, please do that. And then when I make myself something nice, I cook something, I was like, this was so good, Kamal, thank you very much. And it has nothing to do with boosting my ego. It has to do with appreciating small things in life, in my life. When I have the kids and they say, thanks, Dad, this was delicious. Oh, can you make it? I said, of course. Or when I'm cooking, I'm tasting something, I do it in front of them as a, oh, thank you, Dad, you are amazing. But they love it. They enjoy seeing that. And they learn from it to appreciate the smallest things in life. If you cannot appreciate those small things, those small gestures, those small periods of life where you can have fun, like Angie said, alone, where you can do the things that you want to do.
Without asking.
Without asking, that's it.
For permission.
Then you are growing at that stage. In 4 years, I've done more growth than I've had in my relationship of 7 years. Personal growth. Whether it is success in business, education, self-growth and knowledge, connection with people, it all became different simply because I decided this is the person that I want to be. And that's what I was saying in the very beginning. The person that will come into my life, when she comes into my life, she will have to adapt to all of these things that I have. And if she doesn't accept these things, I'm sorry, darling, you're not meant for me. I'm not looking for like a millionaire and a woman to look after me and all of that. No, I have certain rules. I have certain values. I have certain things that I want. Yes, I said I want a multicultural woman. I want a woman that is that has brains. I'm sorry, I like women with brains. I can't be around a woman that doesn't have a brain, doesn't know how to think, that is just there. Or I want a woman that has studied something, that has passion in life about a couple of things. And I want a woman that knows how to speak several languages. Because, well, I speak several languages, my family speaks several languages, in fact, my kids speak several languages. So if you speak only one language, darling, you're going to be lost. So again, what are you deciding to do in life? What are you choosing and who you are choosing?
I think a lot of it comes down to respect, doesn't it? As you were saying, respect yourself. Find out who you are and respect yourself, and have that respect for yourself to make sure that you've got the right person in your life that makes you whole rather than fitting in.
What about you, Angie? What do you think about what we've been discussing now? I mean, I'd like to hear your thoughts. You've been quiet.
I'm always quiet. Can't believe you're saying that. I've been lovely listening. And that is the biggest thing that I've learned.
Yeah.
In my growth thing. Listen, you've got 2 of these and 1 of these.
Yep.
Most people are too busy using this and not using these. And, you know, I meant when you mentioned earlier about listening to people, and I'm always people watching. I think that I found so fascinating and so interesting, and I do it for fun as well. And I will just listen and watch, and yeah, people watch. But yeah, I think personally, a lot of it is about respecting yourself. When you were saying about that, right, you know, the lady that you're looking for, a lot of people will, or so we say the sheep, would be like, well, you're up your own, you know, backside type thing. Me, I've got a lot of respect for that, because you know exactly who you want in your life. Same with me. I've got my ideal avatar, if you want to call the avatar, whatever, that ideal person. And if they're not ticking those boxes, then sorry, this ain't going to work, because I've got more respect for myself now than I ever had. And I won't, what's the word I'm looking for? I won't go against that. That, you know, I know me personally, I'm looking for somebody that can do DIY. That sounds stupid to some people. But for me, the way I was brought up, you know, that you have a man who does the house, or the amount of relationships I've met, and my ex-husband didn't even know how to use the washing machine.
Okay, I mean, you have to define as well a little bit the DIYs. Like I'm
But
not,
when it come to a drill, it was shocking.
okay.
And I was like, I can use a drill better than you. This is not right. You know,
the minimum requirement of a DIY, right?
Exactly.
Not building up
Minimum.
stuff and like doing things like painting and changing a few nails and screws and stuff like that. And yeah, okay, the minimum requirements. Okay.
I think you'd think that the younger generation would, you know, be a little bit different. But my daughter's boyfriend was like, "You're phenomenal," and I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" Because I needed a new bathroom, right? Now, forget plumbing. No, I'm not going to play with that. I'll drown myself and everything else. So there's certain things I won't play with. But there was so much I did in that bathroom. Obviously, he did all the plumbing because he's a plumber. And I did all the decorating to put new lighting fittings in and sockets, and did all the bordering and did, you know, and he was like, we're going to come and finish that off today. And I went, what? And I'd done all the sealing and everything, and they were like, wow. And I was like, what? My shed is full of tools. I think I was 18 and my mom said, what do you want? I went, tools. So I've got a router, I've got saws, I've got all this sort of stuff, because that's the way I was brought up, to be independent. But I don't want to meet somebody that I have got to look after 24/7. Ain't happening. No. But I don't want somebody also to be sitting there watching football 24/7 and drinking beers. No, if that sort of person comes into my life, this ain't going to work. I want somebody that wants to get out in nature, that wants to explore, that, you know, that is handy, that can put a screw in a hole, you know, that sort of stuff. But it just, you know, I've got my boundary, my what's the word I'm looking for? Can't think of the word, that it's gone somewhere else. But I've got who I'm looking for, my idea of avatar.
Yeah.
And I won't change that. And I can only say the reason why I'm like that is because I have spent that time on my own to find out who I am authentically.
Yeah.
Not a sheep, not like somebody else. And for me, I think that's where it needs to start, in the sense of finding out who you are first, then get in a relationship.
I like it when clients I like it when clients at first they know what they want, and then they come and then you talk to them and you're like, really? That's what you want? And then you keep talking to them, and then after they're like, actually, I'm not sure this is what I want. I'm like, what do you mean?
No, but it's interesting what you're talking about as well, Nomsa and Angie. You know, people set up their avatars.
Yeah, you know, like people make this decision that this is what I want, and they stick to that. And then you come to them, you actually have a conversation with them, and they're like, actually, I'm open-minded person. I didn't realize. I'm like, when you get stuck in that, if somebody gets stuck, they say, this is what I want. I don't argue with them. I just write it down. And
that's what she was doing, Kamal. She was taking notes.
Yeah, and then I give it to them. And when they don't meet somebody, I'm like, that's what you said. That's what you want, actually.
Yeah.
And because, you know, like in life, it's like myself, I'm not good with tools, but Martin is good with tools. But we complement each other, because in the house, when he's fixing things, I'm painting. I'm good with painting. And when I'm taking the kids, he goes to work. And then I go to the office, I go to work as well. Then we come home, he does different things, I do different things. but that's what makes us, our difference in our relationship, that makes us unique.
You complement each other.
Yeah, we complement each other. But I also agree with you, Angie, because as a woman, for me, if a man who wants to date me, I want to know, what do you bring to the table? I'm not talking without talking about the money. I want to know, like what Kamal was saying, he's looking for this woman, this who's like this. So for me as well, I'm the same. What do you bring to the table? Emotionally, am I be able, are you gonna help me? Because a man is an architect. And then he has to have a vision where he wants to raise his kids or where he wants to stay with his woman. So for me as a woman, I can't change a man's vision. I have to bring my vision, make sure my vision aligns with Kamal as a man. And then all this saying, I'm educated, I'm this, I want to be a man. I just let men be a man, because in that way, a relationship works. When you let a man being in control. A woman is a mentor. Kamal comes with a vision. This is where I want to, maybe let's say in London, he chooses the city where he wants to raise the children, where he wants to be with me. I have to make sure that vision comes to light by making sure we can afford it and mentoring Kamal to say, honey, you can do this. We can do this. Even if I see that is tough, I'm like, my job is to mentor him. So just to bring out the best on a man, and the man does the same as well. Bring out the best on you. But if a relationship comes to a point where you feel, I'm not sure this is what I want, then that's not a relationship.
Get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. When you're stuck there in that place where, if you're in a relationship where there's no growth, where there's no connection anymore,
No fun.
Get out. Like, okay, I'm going to say it frankly, I have the minimal requirements when it comes to handy stuff, but I'm an academic. I'm a nerd. I love books. So I can't be perfect.
No, nobody can.
I don't touch electricity, even though I have a vocational degree in electricity, but I don't touch it because it explodes in my face. But I can't do it. I don't touch plumbing because to hell with that. That's like enormous amounts of insurances. But changing some boards, I can do it. I learn how to do it. Fixing, building a few tiny things I can do, but don't ask me to do a whole house. I'll tell you, no, darling. This is why I'm studying and I'm working so that I can afford to get somebody, hey,
Pay somebody else to do it.
do that for me.
Even better.
So, but there's also one thing that I found out after reading a bit, is that a lot of women, especially women, have very specific, I'm going to call them avatars, and requirements of them. And they have to be that tall. They have to have that amount of money per month. They have to be this and that and that. And these requirements, it really, really diminishes the amount of men that the women will find. And the same thing applies to men. Are a little bit looser, like with their requirements. They don't really care that much about height. They don't care. Some care about beauty. Some care about academic knowledge. Some care about culture. Some care. There are different things. But that's what I found out, is that women are a little bit more demanding when it comes to their men in general. And I'm saying this is a generalization again. So if you're a woman and you have these, oh, he has to be 6 foot tall or 180 or 175 minimum, and he has to be earning 50,000 euros per month, like, get loose a little bit. This doesn't work like that. And for the men, well, sometimes you're lucky and you get beauty and brains at the same time.
Oh, having said that, Kamal, I'm sure she's gonna kill me. There's a girl that she's a coach now.
Yeah.
She came to register with me, and she's very educated. She is one of the top bankers in the United Kingdom. She wanted looking for love. And I could say that she has paid so many people just to coach it for coaching. And I was like, I think you need to find a relationship and stop paying money coaching too much money. You need to find love. love and paying for coaching, keep paying for coaching is there are two different things.
Yeah.
So she actually registered with me and she decided to continue online, but she met this guy who is, they're in a relationship now. And when she met this guy, and she was like, she's that person that everything has got to be 100% perfect. The house where you live in, it has to be perfect. How you dress, it has to be perfect. So I said, okay, some men in general, they don't know how to dress.
Yeah.
Sometimes the man that knows how to dress is these men that are close to their parents, or they've traveled and they've experienced so many things. And some people in general, they like to dress like normal things to them. It's not really their priority. But when they meet somebody, they are happy to actually go shopping, that person go shopping with them. They are happy, they're open mind. So I said to him, tip number one, don't judge a man because of what they are wearing when you go on a date. And number two, I was like, if you want a man that is actually has a vision and they are independent and they have a job, they have to have a job. You can't date somebody if they don't have a job and they are lazy. So I said to her, then you're good to go if you are attracted to them. The house where they live in, they bought that house themselves. You were not on the picture, so you can't judge them based on the house. So she goes, but I don't like his car. She's going to kill me. And I was like, you what now? I was like, just forget about the car, get to know the guy. And she actually listened. The Martin was like, are you dating the car? Are you dating the human being? Why don't you just get to know the guy if you're attracted to him and then go and buy a car together?
Exactly.
She took the advice actually and started dating this guy. And she is so happy now. When I see her on social media, she is so happy. She actually went to Tony Robbins. That's when she realized the mindset she had, that she liked to actually motivate other women to get rid of that mindset and have a instead of having fantasy mindset, just reality, face the reality. And now she's an amazing coach. And she had that mind before that is all about this, and she realized actually, I love glamour, I love this, but I have to bring somebody into my life and then we can share all this together. And now she's happy. And the guy turns out to be, although she's earn more money, the guy turns out to be the guy that is a caring guy that actually looks after. She had to give up everything, like saying, I pay for myself. Now she lets the guy arrange dates and go on holidays. She's happy. And I was like, it's just the normal things that people take for granted when it comes to life. Guys, it's 13 minutes past 2 and I've got an appointment with Shireen. Any words of encouragement? Angie, are you not picking your daughter today?
In a bit, yeah, she's got a last she's got a last A level today.
Oh.
So yeah, she's done. She finishes school today. Woo! No more school run.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Any words of encouragement before we leave? And audience, where you are, where they can find you, please.
So mine would be, my words of encouragement is just find out who you are. Don't go looking just for anybody just because you're feeling lonely. Find out who you are before you actually go out there. That would be my words of encouragement. And if you need help, find somebody to help you. Don't try and do everything on your own, because I think when you're trying to do everything on your own, it looks too big. So get somebody to help you. And if anybody wants to connect with me, you can find me as Angie Simmons on LinkedIn, or you can also find me under Growth Development Foundation on Facebook and on Instagram.
Thank you, Angie. On my end, I will leave you with a quote from Aristotle. And he said, he is his own best friend and takes delight in privacy, whereas the man of no virtue or ability is his own worst enemy and is afraid of solitude. So these are my words of encouragement. And as Angie said, find out who you are on your own. Don't be afraid of that solitude. discover yourself, find your voice, like we say. And if you need help, this is why Nkosi Talk Show is here. We've got Angie, we've got Nomsa, we've got Shireen, we've got so many other coaches that are around. And for me, if you are looking to connect with me, you can find me on Facebook, just Kamal Ema. You can find me on LinkedIn, on Instagram, same name. And you can finally, in the next couple of days, my website will be running again, and you can find me on kamalema.com. So that's it from my end. Nomsa?
Thank you so much, Kamal and Angie. For me, my words of encouragement will be what Kamal had just said, that we actually, when we are looking for love, we label things, avatar. They have to be 6 foot to 5 foot. They have to be 6'2" or 6 foot. They have to be this. If I'm short anyway, I'm going to date a tall guy anyway. So I'm not going to date somebody shorter like me. So those are the common sense. For me, what I will say is, your destiny is already written. You just put it out there to God or the universe or the earth and just say, you know what I've been through, just tell the universe, tell God what you've been through out loud. And then you'll be surprised how your desires will be met, because what's in the heart is, if you have suffered and been rejected, or if you dated the wrong people, if you say, you know what, I need somebody that is going to complement my life. I'm tired of the nonsense of dating the wrong people. Good people will be presented to you. And also behave like a single lady and a single man. When people say hi to you, just be open and just say hello to people. You will never know. I connect with people for business. Sometimes people say hi, and then it will start with, by the way, I'm being sent by this person. But if I judge that person straight away, the conversation wouldn't go further. Or if I meet somebody in the shops, I just talk to them. It's like now, the pandemic, when I go to the supermarket, I acknowledge the people from the supermarket, because they showed me that my office work apparently is not special, than there are special ones, because they were working while we were at home. So just love yourself and date. Find that love. It's out there. God bless. Live with grace. You can connect with me on social media, guys. My website is not live, so it will be live maybe end of the week. I'm not sure, or maybe by the weekend or next week. So just